what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We are here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale doing some shooting today.
Holster is one of my trusted holster makers with great offerings like the Floodlight and trauma medical equipment to keep you and your loved ones safe. They're one of the few companies that I trust to make a quality product at a good price, and I thank them for sponsoring today's video.
I have recently taken possession of a little bit of old school here, HK Love. This is a USP. Thought I would run a few rounds through it somewhat because it's a little bit gun Amish, and I want to talk about that a little bit. But today, just want to introduce you to this older version of the gun I carry. Mea culpa, as always. I am HK's senior brand ambassador, right? So I've been working with them for years. They send me guns, okay, and money. That's great. And I love HK. I could carry my P30 for the rest of my life and be eminently happy, and that's my plan for now. This is an older version of it. So this is the USP and in 9mm. So a little bit of history for you, right? Right after 9/11. I know some of you kids these days are too young to even remember that, but I was actually on active duty in the Navy on 9/11. And right afterwards, the Federal Air Marshal Service was kind of stood up, back up again, and HK put a bid in on the pistol that they were going to carry and won that competition with the P2000 because they designed it in 2000. Or were designing it in 2000. So then that gun was carried by the Federal Air Marshal Service for a while. Then this, the USP, is the evolution of the P2000. So it's kind of take what we learned with the P2000 and integrate it into this. This then was evolved into the P30, and then the P30 was evolved again into the VP9. And so they're not direct competitors or those things, but a couple things that you're going to notice on this, it sees a lot of P30-like stuff on this, and you can kind of see if you put them side by side how that is. This particular one is a LEM trigger, the law enforcement modification. I love the LEM trigger, right? Now, this particular one is absolutely stock. So this gun comes with a set of just basic iron sights, right? So you can see 3-dot irons there that you can see on those. You can get them with an adjustable irons as well. You can cut this for a dot. I know that Ernest Langdon at Langdon Tactical Technologies cuts these for a dot, but I thought I'd run this for a little while as an iron-sighted gun, so we can talk about that on the channel a little bit too. A couple other things that you'll notice. Number one, the paddle magazine release, but if you look, they're really little, right? So they're kind of like little nub. It's like a paddle nub. I like the evolution of that into the P30 better. You know, if you've been a follower of the channel for a while, you know that as a lefty, I like to use my index finger to release my magazine. I don't find that a huge deal in defensive shooting. It's a big deal in competition shooting. But so a little smaller there. The other thing that you'll notice here, as opposed to the P30, no ambi slide stop. Okay, now I don't really care too much about that. That doesn't trip my trigger too much, because again, as a lefty, I can use my index finger to do that, or you can power stroke the gun. Not the end of the universe. Because this is a LEM, it has a manual safety that's deleted off the gun, right? So you can get this in traditional double action. So it's a double action first shot and then a single action subsequent shots. And in that, you can get that with a decocker, you can get that with a manual safety. But on the LEM trigger, that's not how LEM is designed to be, so they delete that. This is a pretty cool gun. Couple other things. This is one of those weird guns. They came out with this about the same time they came out with the Mark 23, so it has a proprietary rail on it, and that is stupid, okay? That is just dumbity dumb. They got rid of that on the P30. In fact, it didn't have it on the P2000. P2000 has a Picatinny on it, a standard 1913, I think they call that, mil-spec rail. And so does the P30, so does the VP9, everything but this gun, the USP, and the Mark 23. So you can get an adapter for it. GG&G sells an adapter for it for like 50 bucks, I think. But then that adds a little bit down here like that, and then it looks all ungainly and weird, kind of like if you put a light on a Mark 23. Okay, fine. So that's a weird part of this, but my goal here is we're gonna do some other videos about you know, shooting iron sights, and that's okay too, right? I know I've gotten a little bit of flack on the internet and some notoriety for joking about being gun Amish. Irons are fine, and so I'm gonna shoot this gun just a little bit. Let's just do some first shots. Haven't shot this particular gun. Again, stock LEM, You guys know I'm a Gray Guns LEM trigger modification short recess system guy. Love that, but this will work just fine. Let's put our first couple of magazines through it and see how it runs. This guy comes with 15-round polymer magazines. That's kind of interesting, right? So they had 15-round polymer mags, and then for the P30, they went to a metal magazine, which I'm very, very used to. They use that same magazine in the VP9. 15 rounders here, again, the very stock and standard base plates. They haven't done the upgrades. You know, when the P30 mag came out and then they used that in the VP9, it was 15 rounds as well. Then they re-engineered the follower and the spring and the base plate and added 2 more rounds to it. They haven't invested that in the USP. I don't know if they're going to. I think I wouldn't guess that they are. Sometimes people are like, John, you know everything on the inside of HK. I mean, I do get some inside baseball, but it's not like it's not like I have the bat phone to the CEO or anything like that. So I don't always get all of that stuff. Anyhow, we got a couple of magazines. We came in the box with 3, which is kind of nice. And so let's put some rounds through it. I do like that I get just enough grip on this. This is good size for my hands. Again, I've got beefy hands, right? I've got fairly wide fingers and good, pretty good size. My fingers are large length, and my palm is extra large length. And the gun, just like the P30, fits my hand pretty darn well out of the box. Now, again, the USP as opposed to the P30, no adjustable back strap, no adjustable side straps. This gun was kind of designed when we designed it for the right size hands, and you will figure that out from there, right? It's a little old school, but can you adjust that? I'm sure you could send it to, a plastic surgeon and have one of those plastic surgeons do some work on it, whether, taking it down or building it up. Fits me just fine. All right, let's just kind of feel. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, good on the first 3 shots. I'll be right back. Okay, there goes 15. Let's be interesting. Let's go take a look at the first 15. I'll tell you what's going on. So if you look, we're at 7 yards. I'm just trying to keep inside the 8 ring of a B8 is really all I'm doing there. I wasn't firing super fast. I am reaccommodating to iron sights, and so I am target focused and using a blurry sight picture. These are all perfectly acceptable hits, right? So I'm not doing anything crazy. I did push just a little bit because this is a trigger that is just a slight different than I'm used to. So I think I just kind of healed it just a little bit on one, but that's not bad for a magazine. I mean, here, I think the other part is these guys might be a little bit, the way that these sights work, a bit of a lollipop rather than a bisect. We'll talk. Try it with another magazine, see if I'm right. Sorry, I used the technical term there, lollipop versus bisect. So what that means is that some iron sights, the top of the iron sight, whatever target you're on is kind of bisecting it. So if my target is like this circle here, then my top of my sight should be in the middle of it. And that's what we call like a bisecting sight, or what a lot of people might call a 12 o'clock hold. Some are what they call a 6 o'clock hold like this, or a lollipop, where the top of your front sight, it sits on top of it like a lollipop on a stick. And so I'm not sure which one this is yet. I'm just saying, I think I was kind of being used to, hey, put the front sight where the target is, and maybe this is more of a 6 o'clock hold. Let's try it another mag. Gunfire flawlessly out of the box like it should. Wouldn't expect that, anything different. I literally didn't do anything to this gun. I took it out of the box and loaded the magazine. So is that ideal? No, you should probably lube the stupid thing first, right? So that's probably smarter to lube the gun, but I don't know, you're like me, right? You wake up that morning and you go, oh crap, I'm going to the range today, and you throw everything in your bag and you rock and roll. That doesn't happen to just me, right? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's try it again. All right, again, paying attention to the target. Okay, firing just a little bit more, with a little bit more urgency on that one. Let's go take a look and we'll see. Safely, carefully, reluctantly holster, same thing. I pushed one a little bit farther than I wanted to. Again, I wasn't firing super rapidly, just at 7 yards. And kind of, everything staying inside the 8 ring, that's fine. And anytime it's new and different, I'm very used to. I mean, I've got tens and tens of thousands of rounds through a LEM trigger, but again, I'm used to a flat with a gray gun short reset. Now, I'm sure somebody's going to argue here. Well, John, if you're used to this super Whammadine trigger, what happens on the battlefield if you have to pick up somebody else's gun? I won't be quite as good with it. Now, the next question, of course, is how many times do we see that in private citizen defensive gunfights? Never. Is never good for you. I've never seen somebody pick up a gun and use rounds from it in a real gunfight that wasn't their gun. If somebody drops a gun in a private citizen defensive gunfight, that gun pretty much went to Narnia, okay? It went through the back of the wardrobe, and it's now the property of Aslan, okay? So let's try one more magazine. So at least we've got most of a box of ammo through it. All right, let's, again. I really actually like the checkering front and back strap. It's nice. It's aggressive, but it's not like painful or weird or anything like that. That's kind of cool. I like just the ergonomics of the gun. I think it's working really good. I mean, I don't have any problems with it. All right, let's see if we can get a little more kind of precision here. It's a little heavier than I really would like, man. That trigger, it's supposed to be a light LEM. There's what I was looking for. Yeah, it's definitely 6 o'clock hold, and if I really want to accommodate, I'm so used to target focusing with my both eyes open. I'm so used to target focus with both eyes open that if I really want a precision shot, right now I got to close an eye in order to do that. But I'm hitting X rings on that, so I'm not real worried about that anymore. All right, 3 magazines down. Again, I'm using my finger on that, not really a big deal.
I'm worried about that horrible Mickey Mouse impersonation, John.
It's a pretty bad Mickey Mouse impersonation, I understand. Don't quote me on it. So, all right, let's go down and take a look at one more. Yeah, the 4 more precision shots I took were 1, 2, 3, and then I just raised one up a little bit because I again was holding X instead of holding 6 o'clock. So I mean, let's. What do we see here on this gun? I'm going to spend some time on it. We're going to see some videos on using iron sights, right? Because I know some folks are like, John, wait a minute, you're a dot snob. I'm really not, and I think I got maybe unfairly pegged as that. That is what it is. But I like this. This is a neat gun. Would I choose it over a P30? No. That's like asking, would I drive an 86 Camaro instead of a 2023 Camaro? Or I don't think they make the Camaro in 23. Anyways, a 21st century Camaro. Listen, I dated a girl in the 90s that drove an 86 Camaro, so like, it's got some nostalgia, right? That's a cool old car with an old engine. But you get into one today and it's slow, and it doesn't do great things. But a modern car does a whole lot better. But cool factor. All right, this is kind of cool. So a little bit of info on an HK USP for you.